how about we build a deck together from scratch, from one basic idea, and let's see what we end up with. You might recognize this page. I'm using ffdex.com for this because I found it to be the easiest tool to build a deck, to change it, to store your decks. And so if you don't know the site, it's very easy. I'm gonna show you now a bit how it works as well. So what I'm gonna do is a mono ice deck. It's not gonna be a discard focused deck, but I'm gonna take it back to Opus 4, I think, because I'm focusing on the Final Fantasy VI engine we saw in Opus 4, yes. So the best advice to start building a deck is, for example, to pick a theme or a specific card you want to build the deck around. So here, as I said, I want to pick Final Fantasy VI, and of course there is gonna be luck. Yes, so what you can do first is to look at all the cards of the same category, Final Fantasy game category, to see what you can put in there, because you often have synergies between them. You see, if you control 2 or more category 6 characters other than luck, very important, other than luck, then your opponent discards 1 card when he gets into play. I said I don't want to focus about discard, but I like to put him in because why I liked mono ice in Opus 4 more than now is that you had to work a bit more to get the opponent to discard, not simply enter the field effects. So I really liked it. I really like to play mono ice in Opus 4. Now we have our main card. What else can we combine it with? So next step is to look for searchers. And as it happens to be, we have a backup searcher for a category 6 forward we will put in, and also we have Setzer, which not only searches for a Final Fantasy VI forward, but it's mentioned here, it's a character, so you can also, for example, with Setzer you can look for Jestalian Empire Sith and use him to search for another forward. So I'm definitely going to put him in as well, and also Celeste, because she's also a category 6 character and has very good effects, because you can freeze 1 character, so it's not only forward, limited to forwards, but also, for example, backups or monsters. And she has a great secondary effect with which you can damage forwards, adult forwards of your opponents if you deal damage, point of damage. A very interesting choice. So usually you used to put in Terra because of the damage ability, which synergizes with Celeste, but I think I will not take this Terra, even though I like this Terra. I will try to pick the new backup one. Basically, every time I cast a summon, I dull an additional forward of my opponent. So that's why I want to make the deck summon based, because I have Celeste, which deals damage to dulled forwards. I want to include that mechanic a bit more as well. So here's now our very basic idea. What next? So what do we have? We have a little bit of discard, damaging dull forwards, and with the backup Terra we can use summons to dull additional forwards. So that matches very well with the damaging dull forwards. So I'm gonna look for more cards that can damage dulled forwards. I know already a bit what I want to put in. Where is he? Here he is, Sid Reigns. He enters the field, he deals damage to 1 dull forward, and if that forward happens to break that turn, then your opponent has to discard 1 card. But next, a newer card, which also I want to put in, of course, is Laswell. Well, it enters the field and deals 5,000 damage, but if I control 5 or more ice characters, then it's 7,000 damage. Ooh, that's quite a bit. And because it's a mono ice deck, it's probably very much possible that we have 5 or more characters at one point. Now next step is looking for cards that are generally considered good. We might put in Vayne because he deals with 5 CP forwards, because ice is not that powerful. I actually like Rinoa, but I don't think I need her in this deck. But I'm definitely considering Genesis, because it's Genesis. Instead of the other Rinoa, I'm actually gonna include this one. So you play first Sid Reigns, you deal forward, you deal that 4,000 damage to forward, and actually the effect with the where if the forward breaks, then your opponent has to discard one card, gets on a passive stack of that turn, you can consider it like that. Then if I play that Rinoa and use it on Sid Reigns, so he gets removed from the game, play it again, so I deal another 4k damage to a forward, and that discard effect gets added again. So 8k damage to forward, most likely it dies from that, and if it dies, then the opponent has to discard 2 cards, which is pretty insane. Other synergies with Rinoa would be Genesis into the play, Lock into the play effect less well, Orphan, yeah, Orphan, Vayne not so much, Setzer, and what I also want to include is Bubblies. Because I said I want to focus on summons that also might deal damage to dulled forwards, because I will dull many forwards with the summons. So I definitely want to put Bubblies in. I haven't tried it yet in any other deck, but maybe it works. Next, looking through the backups. So definitely Devout, Duke Log for power boosting. Chilnabat. I'm thinking about putting her in because of the freeze, or maybe putting this Chilnabat in because of the meta right now against Mono Wind. It's really good to shut down Al-Hanalam and Fusoya. Also again a bit more of this card, and for his special, so we have a bit more of protection. Next, I'm not sure. I want to include these because I never played them. Emina and Kazuza. Because they deal damage to dulled forwards. Just for the sake of the video, I'm gonna stick with that theme because first of all, this deck needs some testing, so they might change very much in the future, but I definitely want to try it. I'm not gonna include Snow. It's too much of a dull, I think. Too much dulling. And because I have reduced space, because I want to have these 2 out, you have to consider how many backups you're gonna put in that can't remove themselves with their effects. So there you are limited. 5. I'd say, well, you have to stay with 5 because you don't have more space than 5. Okay, let's just move on to the summons now. What I wanted to include was this Shiva, perhaps, because she gets stronger the later the game goes. After her, definitely a Zalera, because we dull more. Don't know, it's a gamble for this one. I don't like it very much, but it might come in handy because we can freeze 2 forwards. So basically, if there are no forwards that are dulled, we are still gonna freeze and dull 1 forward because of Terra. But if there is already a dulled forward, we can dull a second one and freeze both of them. So it might come in handy here. And it serves for the other Shiva to power it up. I actually also wanted to try Moomba. Because with him we could, well, let's assume that we always have Terra out, so we could use him, dull the forward, deal it damage equal to its power minus 1000, and then play something like Sid Reigns or less well. No? Or attack, or later attack with Celas and finish it off. So I think I'm happy with the basic build. Now for the important part, the numbers. So definitely want to include 3 lock, because he's the star of the deck. 3 lock. definitely at least 2 Celeste and at least 2 Genesis. Definitely at minimum 2 of them. Reno, I would say definitely 2 as well. I have to try. Maybe for now 2 Bubblies. 1 Vayne for emergency cases. Because we can bring him back with Devout. So that's a 1, okay. Basically you can stick to a small variety of backups, but play them like 2 or 3 copies of them to have less variety in that sense in your backup line, but you have more consistency. 2 CP for freeze and 4, actually 5 with her dult. 5 CP to break any forward that is dult. So the only counter to that is stuff like Vincent or Hildebrand, which can't be broken with the break effect. Or like Mono Earth tends to play a few copies of forwards that can't be dulled. Dulling 2 forwards, so more like a defensive option, I'd say. Or for Solera. So then I would have 2 with dulling him 3 and 7. 7, wait. With 7 CP, I can theoretically, maybe, with 7 CP I can dull 3 forwards, because 2 with Kazuza and 1 with casting Zerera with the effect of Terra. And if they happen to be that number, I can break them. So for 7 CP I could potentially board wipe. Glacial Labulas is really good because you have many options to choose from. Okay, apparently this works with the EX bursts. So the EX bursts gets triggered, like you take a point of damage, the EX burst gets triggered. The EX burst resolves completely, and then afterwards Terra creates a new separate deck. So basically with the Shiva EX burst I could dull 3 forwards and freeze 2 of them. I think that's it. Yeah, for like version 1 prototype of this deck, I think I'm gonna stay with this, and then after some testing, adjusting a few things, if I see that Amina or Kazuza are just not worth it, I'll change them. If I need perhaps a second Devout, I'll change that. If Shiva is actually garbage, I'll change that. That's pretty much it. That's how I like to build a deck, like the first version of a deck. And next, as I said, I'm gonna test it, maybe record some games. I'm gonna add the video here. I hope you liked it. I hope it helped you maybe get some new ideas or change up your deck building process or something like that. Yes, I would suggest if you just pick the theme that you're interested in and try to build something around that, or specific cards you like, or your favorite character, just experiment with it and have fun. Yeah, so thanks for watching. If you liked it, be sure to click on the thumbs up or thumbs down if you didn't like it, and maybe consider subscribing, because I'm definitely gonna continue with putting out some content, some different stuff every now and then. And if you have more ideas, or if you like the deck, just write a comment, let me know what you think. Any suggestions I might have overlooked, don't know. Yes, that's it. See you in the next video. Bye.